People are just afraid of doing the work. Like, no matter what level you're at, you have to just work hard. They won't even get into a good position because they're not willing to do that. They're not willing to do the half an hour research, 2 hours research, but they want to watch TV. But it'll pay off if you actually go the extra mile.
Welcome to Sample Podcast, guys. Part 2 of the Hassan interview. I'm super excited for this. It's going to be more of a chat, more of a relaxed vibe to it. But man, we've got some things I want to cover with you, my friend.
100%. Yeah. So it's the second day. Yesterday we did the first part and I just messaged him. I was like, let's just do the second part.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Do
Why
more,
not?
think less.
Do more, think less, yes.
That's so powerful. It's so quick. It's like there's so much you can do in one day.
I think I was literally I just finished drinking a cup of water in the kitchen. And I thought to myself, okay, what am I going to do next? I was like, okay, let me just message Sam. I was like, who can I do a podcast with? And I was like, I did one with Sam yesterday. He's still in town. Let me do one again.
Yeah.
And then I messaged you and my logic was, okay, he's either going to say yes or he's going to say no. And if he says no, then I'd find something else to do. And if he says yes, then I'll make sure I turn up on time. And
how
I'm actually half an hour late, but
how fast did I respond to that?
2 seconds, literally 7 seconds. Yeah.
Always on your phone, always
People
messaging.
making money always reply quickly.
Bro, it's
Always.
insane. I applied this with girls where I don't let, you know how, remember it was like, you know, if she replies 6 hours, I stopped that.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's super big. I think they respect it more if you actually reply quickly in some situations. Like, I'm not saying always reply in 2 seconds, no, because that kind of shows that it's a bit weird.
Needy.
It's a little bit keen, a little bit needy, but if you just naturally reply when you want to reply, you end up it naturally works out nice. Sometimes in 2 seconds, sometimes in 2 minutes, sometimes in 20 minutes, sometimes in 3 hours. Like, that's what a normal person would do. All this whole, like, if she replies 1 hour, you do 2. If she does 3, then you do 6 and double it. And all this, it's just nonsense.
All the
It's
guys
childish.
that like calculate it, you know, I got to calculate, like I got to be like this and I got to leave 6 hours. It's crazy because now it's like, you know, let's say there was a girl you messaged and then she replied and now you got 2 hours where you aren't going to reply because that's like you're living your life, you know?
100%, yeah. They say we're doing this podcast now. It's naturally going to be 2 hours before I reply to when he goes anyway on WhatsApp, you know? And then I message them and then it's like, oh, what have you been up to? Okay, then you can actually tell them, oh, I did a podcast. Oh, I was here. I was at the beach.
Yeah.
It just makes you seem like a more normal person. Everyone's always trying to use tactics with things, but being a normal person with a good personality takes you far in life.
Oh, 100%. You're always doing stuff. And if you're always doing stuff, you got content. That's the big thing.
And you're more interesting of a person.
Yeah.
You have more interesting stories when you actually talk to them. Instead of just being like, what are you up to? If you're replying every 3 minutes, what could you have done in those 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Switch the TV on, like.
Watch your speed run for 4 minutes.
Yeah. Be quick.
That's insane. Like they don't understand. How do you kind of, with the guys that like, look at your life and stuff, how do you really get through to them the steps and actions that you need to take in that you took to get to where they are? Like sometimes they just don't get it.
Yeah, so what I would say is no matter which business model you're going to get into, I would recommend you become really good at sales and really good at marketing because every business is sales and marketing, right? You have a product or a service, right? And then you have people buying said product or service. And to get the attention of people, that's marketing. And then to sell to those people your product or service and convey to them why your product or service is good, that's sales. So sales and marketing are both very, very important, right? Whether you're selling info products, whether you're selling a physical product like a t-shirt, whether you're selling a service, let's say you want to be someone's web designer, email marketer, video editor, that's a service. Whatever it is, you need sales and marketing to actually get your product in front of the right people and sell to them and show why your product is better than your competitors, show why your product is going to be worth their money. Because everyone wants to just make sure if they give you X amount of money, they're going to get something in return.
Yep.
Right, so we give the shop $1, we get a bottle of water, that's fine. But if the bottle of water was $20, the value for the money wouldn't be there. We'd be like, you know what, it's not worth $20.
Yeah.
But then again, if we were in the desert and we were dying of thirst, then it's worth unlimited money. So it just depends on what you're getting in return, depends on the situation. But yeah, sales and marketing is huge, man.
That's like contextually of the value of something.
Yeah.
And so that's,
100%.
would you say a big thing that you work on is positioning in the market and positioning kind of not only yourself, your personal brand, but the things you're selling?
It's a good point. I don't think I put too much thought into it. Maybe I should, but I don't put too much thought into it really. How I offer compares. It's more so just if I can just make people understand that the $1 they're paying, they're going to get $5 worth of value back, they'll pay.
That's all that matters.
And then, okay, if I don't want to sell a product that's $1, I want to sell a product that's $500, how can I make them understand it's worth 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, 20K? If they're going to pay me 5K, how can I make them understand it's going to be worth 20K, 30K, 50K, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I've done sales before I even started my private network New Money, I was doing sales consultations online on Twitter for a while because I have the door-to-door sales team and people understood that I was good at sales. And I remember selling to one guy who's actually, I met him about 5 days ago when I was in New York.
Oh, yeah.
A sales mentorship was like 10 grand. But the amount of value I gave him in return was crazy. It was immense. And then he got so much out of it. So in my opinion, 10 grand for someone talking to you for a long, long time, weeks, because I was in Miami at the time. I was seeing him every day, and he basically just became my friend. And I was teaching him so much. Like, information lasts with you forever. So if someone pays you 10K, but you give them 50K worth of value, they're happy to pay that.
It makes sense.
Because I always say this to people. If I was to give you a Lamborghini, and I said it's $30,000 for a Lambo. Even if you were broke, even if you had zero in your bank, you'd find a way to get 30 grand within the 24 hours.
100%.
You'd be asking your mom for loan, dad for loan. You'd ask me for a loan. You say, Hassan, look, I need 30 grand. And then what we're going to do, we're going to buy this Lambo and sell it the next day for 150 grand. We'll split the profits because I'm a middleman. I found this deal for you. I need your money, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Even if you were 50K overdraft, you'd find a way to get the money because the offer, the value is so immense.
You'd pitch the bank.
You'd pitch the bank. You'd pitch every single person. These guys might not be able to see on the camera, but we're in a very nice studio right now. There's loads of cars going by. You'd be asking everybody on the side of the street. You'd be going on Instagram, Facebook, like, guys, huge opportunity. Whoever has 30K, message me. Da, da. You know, like we said yesterday in the other podcast, the conviction and the urgency would sell people. They'll be like, why is Hassan literally jumping up and down trying to get my attention, needing 30K? Because the offer's so...
It's so good.
It's all about the value.
I always say, like, there's this thing, they talk about it. If you could go back to 2011 Bitcoin and see yourself, and how hard would you pitch yourself on Bitcoin?
Completely.
There'd be every day you'd be at your door, knocking at your door, fucking telling you got to do it anyway, emotionally, physically, just wrestle with the dude. You got to buy, and that's the urgency right there.
Everything is urgency. Everything is urgency. So if you guys want to sell in business, sit there and think to yourself, how can I convey urgency? How can I convey conviction to my audience? If you can repeat something enough times and make people actually understand what you're saying, why would they not buy unless it was a bad product? If you've got the attention of someone online, whether it's even door-to-door, because that's my background, door-to-door sales. If I'm saying to them, like, look, we're going to give you a boiler. This is the process. You got to sign the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. If they can actually understand what I'm saying, why would they not sign that paperwork? Unless it's an actual scam and they think, okay, this guy's scamming me. Why would they not want to sign the paperwork? So it's very much like, if you get sold on the idea yourself, if you get sold on your own product, I think it makes it much easier to sell another product. What do you think about that?
No, 100%. If you're fully committed.
So you sell, do you want to talk a bit about what you sell?
So I sell entrepreneurs specifically. That's my target market. How to build a social circle, so how to make a lot of friends, how to make a lot of connections, and build a lifestyle which attracts a lot of girls into your life, high quality girls. And for them, you know, it's funny because two different ways that happen. Number one, if I'm selling to a guy that might not have as much money, I look at him and he's calculating in his head, if I purchase this is this much of my time
completely
that I'm buying, which is crazy. You know, as you said, $1, that's like 10 minutes or 4 minutes of their time. $20, it's an hour of their time, you know. And so whether it's a high level entrepreneur, I'm selling him on how much time he's going to save. So it's like two different ways that I do it, but both, it's like the way that I do it is a 100% commitment. It's going to get them the result, and I just sell the benefits basically of the whole thing, right? So that's what I do, and especially because I've done it for so many years, 10 years in the game, and 10 years. Can you imagine?
You know all the objections. You know why someone might not want to buy. Why they would buy. What's stopping them from buying now? Yeah, 100%.
So time in the game. Skin in the game. Time in the game. It just fucking. It's huge, and I know if you've been doing this for a lot of years, almost how long now? Since from when?
Well, I got kicked out of uni 2019 September. I started door-to-door sales 2019 October. So fucking hell, coming up this October would have been 5 years in business and trying to make money and learning sales 5 years. Yeah, but I say because it's not even just about the time; it's about the intensity of the time, right? So you could be like, I know a lot of people who say they've been boxing for 7 years, like, and they're awful. Like they're completely awful. It's because they've not really been boxing 7 years. They just want to say it to like sound tough.
100%.
They've just been going once a week or once every 3 months, and they've just kind of hit the bag, and there's no intensity, there's no coaching, there's no nothing behind it. Everything's about the intensity at which you practice, right?
I talk about the Jake Paul boxing, right?
Completely.
Everyone, he hasn't done boxing for that long.
Yeah.
But you just saw the determination. He'd be doing it 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day.
Yeah.
And so they were all underestimating him because he was only been in there for half a year or a year.
If you really focus on something, the world becomes your library. Like, that's what I love about being high up in the city. So right now we're in an amazing city. I wish these guys could see the view. Maybe at the end we'll show them with the camera.
do the video, right?
We'll do a video and show them, 100%. But this view right now is absolutely crazy. And it's like, when you're this high up, right, everything around you just becomes almost like a tool, to help you in your goals. Like, let's say you really want to become good at boxing. Think about how many boxing coaches there are right now driving on these roads. Think about how much road there is to run on and get some extra cardio. Think about how many resources there are in society to actually help you achieve your goals. So the person who's like dedicated on one thing and really intensely practices can get really good. Because everyone you could potentially try and sell something to. Me and you could just sit here for 7 hours in a room. Let's say we really want to get good at sales and just practice selling to each other.
Back and forth.
So you guys watching this right now, if you really want to get good at sales, do door-to-door for 8 hours a day. And then when you go home, analyze your performance for 4 hours a day. That's what I used to do. Like knock 7-8 hours a day, then get home for 2 hours, then go on a drive for 1 hour because I like driving in my little Volkswagen Polo and just review the day and think, okay, when that person said, I need to talk to my wife, how could I have done it differently? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? And I just analyzed my performance. And before you know, I got pretty good.
That's good. There's a story I talk about when I first started with learning success with women, that I would watch these videos that this company that I ended up working for would make from the moment I woke up, the whole day to when I got to work. I would then, secretly listen to it at work. I would then go practice it at lunch. I would then go.
Oh, you mean like go talk to girls and
talk to girls over lunchtime. I ended up going and moving to a women's fashion store so I could go talk to girls a bit more. Like I devoted my whole life. Drive home, I would listen to it. I then practice and do all my line, then go out all night till about 2-3 in the morning. Then if I had a good interaction with a girl, I would either take her home, I'd be talking to her, or I'd be listening to it, and then I would put my phone underneath my pillow before we knew it was bad for you, and I would still listen to them. So there was 12 months where my phone didn't stop, like these guys, and because they had so much content. That was the dedication that I had, and that's why in 12 months I did what no one else had done. In this company, no one else has got to where I got that quickly, and it was because it was just solely
all you cared about.
Obsessed.
It makes so much sense to me though, and people say things like, nah, I don't believe it's possible to make this much progress. Whatever the field is, whether it's that, whether it's boxing, whether it's football, whether it's business, it's like, if you only care about that one thing, you're going to improve. Because this is what people think. Let's say you spend 3 hours doing something, right? Versus 6 hours. So like double, right? People say, oh, if you spend double the time doing something, you'll get double the results. And I say, no, that's not how it works. If you spend double the time doing something, you get like 10x the results because it's the law of exponential returns. So with you, if you're doing something all day and that's the only thing you think of, you're actually going to get way more results than you think. People are like often surprised at like how I made so much progress in business quite quickly. And it's like, because all I did for the last few years was just care about money. Yeah, I traveled and I did this and I did that, but I was traveling and meeting people for return, for ROI, for value. Whether it's I'm learning something from this person because I know they make a lot of money with this particular industry, or it's a podcast, or it's, I'm going and just discovering a new city. Maybe I'm going to end up living there. So for example, now I live in Dubai. I remember I traveled to Dubai, 2021 and then 2022 again. And then I decided to move here at the end of 2022. That was technically work then because now I live here and it's helped me a lot in my life. So you got to do things with a return and investment. No one successful just does things for the sake of it.
No, there's an obsession there, it feels like, as well.
Completely. It has to be, man. If you're obsessed by something, you progress 10 times quicker. Because like I said, it's not double. And the best analogy I can give, I'm going to try and explain this in really simple terms.
Yeah.
Let's say if you do outreach on Instagram, let's say it takes you, 100 DMs to get a sale. So 100 DMs, right? But let's say you send 10 DMs a day. It'll take you 10 days to get a sale, 10 times 10, right? But you might give up on 9th day. No sales after 9 days. You might be like, okay, I'll pack this in.
Yep.
But let's say you did 20 DMs a day, double, right? You might have decided to give up on the 8th day if you got no sales on 9th day. But because you now get a sale within 5 days, now you know there's proof of concept, and then you go on to build a multi-million-dollar business. Yep. Because now you're just like, okay, 20 DMs, then you work out your numbers, it takes about 100 DMs, blah, 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 and then you hire a fucking setter and a closer, and before you know it, you have a huge business, and you know your numbers, and now you're motivated. Whereas in the first example, doing half as much work, now you gave up and you packed it in. You're like, oh, I need to start another business now, and now you try and move into another industry. So it's exponential. Because like if you do half the work, you might never reach that cutoff point where you would have really kicked on.
Got it on. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
You're probably in the right vehicle.
Yeah, but it's just not enough volume.
Yeah. So it's like the image where the right before the diamonds. Yeah.
That's the best analogy, actually. I forgot about that.
Because it's so crucial. It's so true. Relatable.
Yeah. So true. And yeah, exactly. It's so relatable.
I remember when I first started my TikTok, it was like I did a thing where I said, I don't know if this is right or wrong. But I'm going to do this for, not like, most guys are like, oh, I'm going to do it for a week. Right. I said, 90 days. I'm going to post 5 times a day for 90 days.
Nice, okay.
That's it. And I don't know if I'm going to go live for 90 days. I'm going to post for 90 days. I'm going to comment and see if it works. And even when it was starting to work, I didn't judge it. It could all fall apart. And then by the 90 days, I was like, wow, this really does work. Because most guys were stopping at a week. So I just like quadrupled it, threw it 10 times more. And there's a lot to it. So, for you, a good question that they're going to ask is, okay, well, Hassan, where is that point? Where is it where it's delusional?
I completely understand what you're saying. And there's actually an example of this guy from my private network. When he first joined the group, like I'd asked him on a situation and he told me that he'd been doing real estate for 6 or 7 months and he hadn't made a single sale, hadn't made a single dollar working the sales job. I was like, okay, bro, now it's time to like change something, whether it's the company, whether it's talking to the manager, and like you can't but 7 months and not get a single result. But what I always say is like, it's not even just the actual results. It's about, are you learning something every day? Say you're a young guy, you're 19, 20, 21, 22 watching this, and every day you feel like you're learning a lot, like a lot.
Yeah.
Then it's like, I don't care about the money at that point. If you're telling me you're learning something every day, for me, if I was your coach, I'd say that's actually good enough because information is that powerful. Information, man, is everything. Every day I actually try and learn something. I'm always trying to like, okay, what did I learn today? If I learn something, I'm guaranteeing that I'm going to be very, very wealthy in 6 months' time, a year's time, 5 years' time, forever. But if I don't learn something, then it's just, I'm capping myself. There's only so high you can go if you only just know what you know now. So information is everything. But what I would say is, I think progress is seen quite quickly. So, and I always use this example. If you were to eat 6,000 calories a day, you'd instantly gain weight, right? Yeah, you might start putting on a lot of fat, sure. But you'd instantly gain weight. You'd instantly get stronger. You'd instantly feel bigger and stronger, right? Yeah. It's instant. I believe it's kind of the same thing with business. Like you usually see it pretty instantly. Even with something like TikTok, yeah, maybe it takes you a while to become a big name, sure. But you usually, if you're changing your style, let's say you post a video, you get 10 views, 100 views, 100 views, 100 views. One time you post a video, gets 2,000 views, and it's a certain style. Well, then I would keep doing the style that got 2,000 views.
Yep.
And I feel like that's quite easily achieved. I think getting that first video with 2,000 views compared to 100 views is quite easily done. So I believe that progress is seen pretty instantly. I have actually a different mindset than most people who say, be patient, take your time. I believe you should be pretty impatient because be patient to become big, but don't be patient to get like progress. Like you should be able to see small forms of progress pretty quickly, in my opinion.
I see where the beef between you and Gary Vee is now.
Yeah. Because Gary Vee is always like, no, but I think he says something similar actually, to be fair to him. He says, be macro patient, micro impatient, right?
So
That's actually that's my belief.
Okay.
Which is be very, very in a rush on the daily.
Yeah.
No, like, let me say something. I actually agree with a lot of Gary, what he says, but just I don't agree with the whole, like, if you're 47, you have time. Like, no, like, if you wasted your time, you have to be honest with yourself and say you wasted your time. But
100%.
overall, his mindset is correct in the sense of always make the best move you can.
Well, I'm on you. If you've got to 47 and it hasn't worked out, then you're playing the wrong playbook. And everything in your life has to change. Like every belief, everything is wrong.
And it's hard to.
Who can do that for 27 years of my life I've been running the wrong playbook? Fuck, that's good. That's what
I'm saying. So Gary Vee, the reason why he has 10 million followers is because he says things that are easily digestible. Whereas I say things that are more harsh and more brute reality, but I have a smaller following because of that reason. It's like, it depends on what game you're playing.
Yeah, and I think he's incredibly right on a lot of things as well, too.
100% he is. Very smart, very successful, so he knows what he's talking about. But it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if a guy comes to me and he's, and I've changed people from all ages, but if he's 60, 55, 50, it's like, we're going to have to do a lot of work and a lot of like, it's just mental. At that point,
of course, it's mental.
It's not even physical. Of course, if he's fat or something, get him in shape. But it's all mental. It's like you've been running the wrong playbook. You need to, and one of the big things I tell him is get around like people in their 20s, and that was what my mentor did. My mentor was coming into 40, and he knew that he had to get around younger minds so that he could still stay tapped into the trends, the knowledge, the culture. So that he could ride that wave for his business and go, very okay, smart. What do we have to do to implement to this new generation?
I think a lot of people make that mistake. Like they start becoming successful and then they start isolating themselves. But isolation in general is quite dangerous.
Yep.
You want to be like tapping into the different ages. You want to be, I completely agree with that. You want to be mingling with all sorts of ages. Because like if you're 30, like you just said you turned 30, it's like you want to be learning from the 18-year-old TikTok kids because they can teach you new things with new culture, new trends. And I'm 24. I want to be talking to someone who's 30. 6 years more wisdom, 6 years older. You have different insights, right? But I also want to be talking to the 18-year-olds, right? You want to have everyone. You want to talk to different ages around you.
So with your networking, your network is very vast now. Not only you have your personal network, but also new money, your private community. have you ever struggled with that? Is that something that you've ever done? Is there a system that you do, or
what way, sorry?
like in terms of the people that you have around you now? You have a very good, loyal bunch of people. Is that something that you've cultivated, or how have you cultivated that? Is that something that's come natural to you?
So the people I'm friends with now, pretty much all of them are inside of my private community, which is quite cool.
Okay.
And I think I've done that deliberately because I just know for a fact that they have a very similar mindset or worldview if they join my community. And I don't know if I fully understood the question, but have I intentionally chosen... Say that one more time?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think I understand what you mean, but I'd rather you just repeat.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The people you have around you, not only you have your brother who's a business partner of yours, and you have people like Craig and everything, and so you found them in New Money. But how have you cultivated these good people around you?
It's just a lot of it's just off gut instinct. So I remember when I was moving to Dubai, my friend Craig, who's also one of my business partners, he was moving to Dubai. So I thought, okay, I don't know anyone in Dubai. He doesn't know anyone in Dubai. Let's just meet up. And then I ended up going to the cigar lounge with him like every day for like 2 weeks, like literally in a row, every day. And he was showing me his e-com stores and he was showing me stuff he was doing. And I thought he's just a good guy to be around. And actually what's interesting is, I just forgot about this. I just remembered now, which is a month before, he'd actually met me in a Five Guys restaurant in London because I was asking the New Money guys, like, yo, let's do a quick meet up. I'm in London. Whoever can be there in the next couple hours, meet me there. So like 8 people or so turned up and he was one of the guys. I didn't think much of him, didn't speak to him too much. It was like 8 people. I mainly spoke to the guys I was already friends with. But then because I remembered him there, I was like, oh, let's go meet in the cigar lounge a month later. So it's interesting how things play out. But imagine he didn't go to the Five Guys meetup and then I wouldn't have asked to meet him in the cigar lounge. Then we wouldn't have ended up being business partners. And then we lived together on the Palm for the last year. So everything just ties in together.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of your friends are people you do business with.
Yeah, 100%.
That's good.
I don't usually... Yeah, just because otherwise kind of what's there to talk about too much? It's kind of like that. So all the people around me, I'm kind of doing something with them.
Well, 100%.
Or there's something to help each other with.
I don't have a friend that works 9 to 5 at all. Not one.
I have one really close day one friend who does a 9 to 5. He's like my friend that I've known the longest. I trust, well, I mean, arguably I trust some of the people. I know, I trust him equally as much as like Craig and these people.
Yeah, sure.
But I've known him for like 12 years or so, and he does a 9 to 5 job, but we're not very close anymore, even though I've known him the longest, because he's just there's not too much to talk about. He walks his dog for a couple hours a day.
Yep.
He spends time with his parents a lot back in his hometown, back where I'm from, and it's just a completely different life, completely different choices. Obviously, I still have love for him and everything,
Yeah,
but
of course.
it's just there's physically not much to talk about. And it's kind of like...
Well, they bitch about their boss, they bitch about work
I
situation.
mean, he's good, to be fair.
Yeah,
but
not
it's just,
him, but in general.
I
these
agree, yeah,
type of
that's why I
people.
only have him as the friend. But
Yeah.
it's just... Some people watching this might think, oh, you only have friends who are like in business with you and or employees, but what else are you physically going to talk to them about? Like humans are very much like, we kind of move on from people quickly. People seem to not understand this. So if we don't have anything to talk about, or we're not gaining from each other in the present, there's almost no point talking.
No,
I know it sounds like when I was younger, if I heard that, I'd be like, what's this guy on about? He's an asshole, he's arrogant. But I honestly, when I was young, I used to be the most like kind-hearted, good kid. I remember thinking, when I get rich, I'm going to make everyone become rich.
Yep.
Every single person from my entire school, I'm going to make rich. Like even the people I don't like. I was very like deluded with that mindset. I remember thinking, I'm going to make everyone rich. It's possible.
Yeah.
Fuck the haters. You know, all these rappers would say, fuck your friends that betray you. I was like, no, my friends will never betray me. And it's true. I've never been betrayed by anyone. But you have to kind of leave people where they're at. You cannot drag people up the mountain. Because I always say it like this. Imagine we were climbing Mount Everest. We're going to have to train for it. We'd have to get ready for it. Me carrying another 80-kilo man on top of me. Like, bro, I can hardly carry myself up there, you know? It's hard enough to get to the top of the mountain. Yeah, alone have another dude on my back. 2 dudes, 7 dudes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not Hercules, so it's like, I mean, even he can't do it. You know, it's hard enough climbing Mount Everest. So that's kind of my mindset, man.
No, it's good because it's like, I'm very similar with that, which is like your circle gets tighter, but that's because your scope of what you have to interact with and your kind of connections get smaller.
But you have more associates, I'd say.
Yes.
So like we're not close friends, obviously.
we're
it's like
associates.
but yeah. But then it's like, okay, we're doing the podcast together. You know, we can help each other with things. We're always a message away on IG. 100%. I think that's what ends up happening more as you become more successful, as you just become more successful, more known, whatever. You just have a lot more associates, people you can just ask a quick question to an IG, people like if you're in Dubai or I'm in Australia, I'd message you like, what are the best shisha spots in Melbourne? Or I'm in Melbourne. Okay, we'll go for shisha.
100%.
You know, maybe we do another podcast, like that kind of stuff.
It's almost like magnets. You know, they attract when you're close and you know each other, and then repel, and then you experience shit, and then you come back, and it's just like wave, the thing. That's what I've seen with a lot of people. You know, take like me and David. Me and David were here last year. And then I saw him for a couple of days in there, and then that's it, like 2 times in a year.
Because
that's all we got.
Because what's the alternative? Like, what are you? You can't just be like, oh, David, I know you're in LA right now, but I'm in Dubai, so you have to come here. Like everyone's got their own life as an adult. We've all got our bills to pay. We've all got our own problems. So you kind of have to just, when you bump into someone, all right, you catch them here, you catch them there. That's what social media is great for.
It's literally the online social circle. It's literally without, because your social goes from, let's say, you know, what was your town? Coventry, was it?
Coventry.
Yeah, Coventry to now it goes to London a little bit, and now it goes to international.
Bro, we're everywhere. Like, there's not a city on earth besides like, okay, a couple places that, like Afghanistan. I don't really know anyone in Afghanistan, but besides that, basically every country, every main city you'd want to go to, I have so many people I can meet. Like in my private network, I have an Australian-only group chat within the community, so I know all the Australian boys off the top of my head, all the Americans, all the UK people, all the French, all the Germans, all the Spanish, all the Portugal. So wherever we go, and then it gets even deeper than that. Then it's like, okay, I go to Barcelona right now. I know 7 girls here. Go to Madrid, you know, girls here. Like, it's just like because it's just so powerful.
Keep tabs on, like you keep a little bit of tabs on everyone, but you know exactly where they are.
That's what IG and WhatsApp's so good for, and all these stories, because, or Snapchat or whatever you want to use. Because let's say you just have someone's number. I'm not going to message this girl called Veronica, this girl called Sarah, this girl called Jessica in America, and like, oh, hey, how are you? I'm fine. I toast for breakfast. Like,
sweet.
We're not that close, you know, it's just, we've seen each other a couple times. But I can reply to a story, a couple emojis or this or that, and then it's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be in Texas next week again. Then we can meet, you know? So it's kind of like that.
100%.
Social media is mega powerful, and I think a lot of guys don't utilize it fully.
No, that they do
100% don't.
Absolutely, and especially with the personal.
Even we could be doing it better, because there's always that next level.
No, you know, that's where hanging around these social media guys. That take for me, for instance, hang around, you know, people like you, people like Sneeko, people like, you know, people that are fully devoted to social media. That gets me to the next level, and that's where I really, really like hanging out with people that have that you can share the value with, but that are more advanced in one subject than another.
You know what it is? Because people say things like, oh, it's fake to only be friends with someone because of this or because of that. It's like, well, because they think, oh, you're just with them because you're gaining benefit. Well, it's like, I like you and we can get benefit.
100%.
It's like this guy here, John, I can only find him funny. But like, there's lots of people who are useful to you and they're funny.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it's not that rare to be funny. It's not that rare to be likable. People think watching this at home maybe that it's like, oh, all the successful people, you're just with them because they're successful. It's like, no, they've got all the benefits these guys have, like funny, charismatic, likable, and they can provide you benefit and teach you things.
Best of both worlds.
So why wouldn't you be friends with these guys instead of these guys?
100%.
Like, you're only going to get as far as 50 Cent said this. He said his grandma told him, you're only going to get as far as the people you hang out with for no reason. And that point there, for no reason, is so true. The people you hang out with just on a normal day, that's your life. That's just people. That's your standard. So ideally, you want those people to be as high level as possible. But to get those friends, you have to earn them and you have to be high level yourself.
Yes.
So if you want to be friends with someone really famous on social media, either you have to be really famous on social media, or you have to be the kind of guy who runs the actual deals and the stuff for that social media star in the shadows, in the background,
Help
and then
them.
provide value to him.
Yeah.
You have to earn everything.
The blueprint right there, like you said.
Oh, it's bright. I thought these lights would be bright. All right, I'll keep them off for a sec.
That's 100% the blueprint right there. You've got to become, from going from no glasses to glasses, that's going to be intense for you.
Yeah. All right, it's fine. I'll get used to it.
So yeah, that's kind of the big thing, and it makes sense too, because it's like most of these guys, oh, you know, they want to be friends with you, or they want to be friends with these big guys. It's like it's only going to happen because the time becomes scarce. When the time becomes scarce, you need to give value.
You know what it is though? It's actually easier though, I think, than people realize. Because if someone said to me right now, Hassan, let's say they don't live in Dubai. Okay,
You're going to get a bunch of messages if you say that.
No, but it's true, right? If they came up to me and said, Hassan, I'll be your cameraman. I'll record you for free. I'll literally 24 hours a day. I'll be on call whenever you want me to record you. I just literally, I'm from America. I don't have any money. You know, I just need to live somewhere in Dubai. The cheapest place you can get me. You can pay me just enough to cover my food. I'm just seeing it as a mentorship, as an experience. I just want to record for you. And I'm sure that if I provide a lot of value to you, I literally been 24/7 on call, recording you for free, that I'm going to get something in return down the line. I'm going to learn something and I like your content. it's hard to kind of say no to the offer because you're going to be like, all right,
Easy.
what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
And it's not even about the free because whether I'm paying $15 an hour, $10 an hour or nothing, for me, it's the same anyway.
Yeah.
But it's more so the case of that guy's smart. That's showing intelligence.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that like, okay, that's useful. Just recording me nonstop. Imagine right now, there's just a dude in this room just recording nonstop
Honestly.
as I'm doing this podcast.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Getting behind the scene content.
Yeah.
And it's free and there's nothing to lose. And he's taking all the risk. He's booking his own flight. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 100%.
People are just scared to like do things for free. But if you did that for free, let's say right now that person's in the room. Now they're meeting you. And then you've met a lot of big names. You've met a lot of big successful people. Then he talks to you. Then he gets your IG.
Yeah.
Okay, then he gets this guy's IG. Now, Sam, you said you're going on the jet ski later today, let's say. I mean, that was yesterday, but hypothetically. Okay, Hassan, do you need me for the rest of the day? No, then maybe he could record you for the next couple hours. Then he could be on the yacht with a couple girls and on the jet ski, You know, now he just changed his life just because he said he'll work for free or just because he said, whatever you need, I'll be there 24/7.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I can only work 9 to 5. I can only work these hours. He was just available. So there's lots of ways to provide value. Like if it's to someone really successful and you're broke at the moment, you don't need to give them business advice.
Yeah.
Just be their cameraman.
Oh,
Just be
100%.
their number two. Just be their soldier. Be their assistant. Be their.
Hold this thing like that. That's it.
Just be there.
24 hours. Yeah. 100%. Oh, I started my how I started was free, completely free, 3-month unpaid internship. That's all I did, and it worked out phenomenally.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah.
If someone knows you're always going to be there and you reply quickly to your phone, they just start. You just get opportunities.
Yeah, 100%. I think the biggest thing too is like even if you look at the people that are even around me, the people that I work with, they've offered straight value. Like the clippers, the guys that do the clips.
Yep.
Here's 10 clips that I made of you.
Completely.
Oh, perfect. But these guys, hey, I'll do it for free. I'll give
Yeah,
you 10
yeah.
clips. It's like, bro, already just send it to me. Let's go
Bro,
past that.
yeah.
Let's skip this whole conversation. of
Everyone's stupid.
yeah.
Everyone's stupid. Completely, I agree. And not only but then it's like, okay, if someone said to you, your life depends on it, you have to get Sam as a client. Yeah. Would you say, all right, bro, I can make you these videos. I'm going to charge you $20 for the first video. That's option A. That's like the worst thing you could do. Option B is like, oh, Sam, if you tell me yes and you give me permission to, I'm going to make you these 5 videos for free. That's like, okay, it's starting to get a bit better, but still shit. Option 3 is you send him like 2 videos for free and say, here you go, I hope you like them. Okay, that's pretty good. Option 4 is imagine you sent him 45 videos. Again, such a big number. Send him 45 videos from all his podcasts, like the best 45 clips you can find of him and make them amazing. And how he's going to like you. Just as he's going to be like, this guy's smart. It'll be like the best DM you've ever received. 45 videos for free. And you sent them to me. You've organized it in a nice order. Video 1, video 2, video 3. Make it look nice and pretty. These 3 from this podcast, these 3 from this podcast, these 3 from this podcast. I don't know if you've got any vlogs, whatever. Study his funnel, study his content. As you only done podcasts, then you blah, 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 blah. Take the best 45. Send it to him on Twitter. Then don't only send it to him on Twitter. Send it to him again on IG. Send it to him again. Send it to me, his friends, David, everyone he's done a podcast with. Go on YouTube, search his friends on the podcast. Send it to everyone. Say, get this to Sam. I remember one guy did that and he was trying to sell me merch or something.
Yep.
He like messaged all my friends, like, get Hassan to check. Now, even though in the end I didn't go ahead with it because it was something I completely didn't need, it got my attention.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if someone said your life depends on it, you had to get Sam as a client. Let's just use Sam as an example, because Sam is just another word for a client, right? You would have done what I said, the 45 videos. You know my editor right now on YouTube? Is he the world's best editor? No. But I'm going to stick by him and I'm going to make sure he gets good and I'm going to give him lots of opportunities because he sent me 100 videos in a row, 1 video a day for 100 days in a row. I didn't even realize he was sending me a video a day. And one day I realized, like, whoa, this guy sent me a lot of videos. And he's like, yeah, it's been 100.
Damn.
So now he's my editor. He's actually my private network.
That's commitment.
But what can you lose from doing that?
No.
How long does it take to edit a short form clip?
Not long.
Like, people are so scared of work. But this is what they think. They think, oh yeah, but if I made Sam the 45 videos, this is what they actually think. I know their objection because I'm a sales guy.
Yep.
They're going to be thinking, if I made Sam the 45 videos, what about if Sam doesn't sign me as a client? I wasted my time. No, you didn't. Because what you did do is you practiced doing 45 videos, A, which is useful. You just honed your skill, honed your craft. And number 2 is, if Sam says no, he's probably going to reply. He probably won't completely ignore you if you've made him 45 really good videos.
Yeah.
He'll probably reply. I can't see him saying no anyway to sign you.
100%.
Especially if it's a good offer. And then worst case scenario, he'll just say, okay, I don't need you, but I'll tell this guy about you. I'll tell this guy about you. Because he'd want to return the favor. Yeah. Because even if he doesn't want to pay you, you're just giving him 45 clips. He's going to want to give you something back. You see what I'm saying? So
Very, very much so.
Everyone likes reciprocating. Everyone likes, if you scratch my back, I want to scratch your back. I want to give you the favor back. You know,
Yeah.
like yesterday you paid for the podcast room, you just booked it and organized it. Okay, so today I'm gonna sort it out. Obviously,
100%.
I'll pay for it. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, pay again, or it's just simple stuff. But people are so scared of like, if I do this, am I sure they're gonna give me something back? 9 times out of 10 they will, man. It'll work out.
Yeah, and I think that it can even be another step, and this is the other step they can do, which is when I started the podcast, I didn't really know anyone. I was trying to reach out, and I would literally spend an hour doing research on all these people. Oh, they've got this event coming up, they're doing this. So someone came to me, hey Sam, I see you're traveling. We see you went to LA, Miami, Dubai. Now you're going somewhere else. I know you're probably short on time. I made these for you, so that you don't have to think about it. You can keep posting your schedule, seeing you've posted every day for the last such and such days.
That's smart.
Now I'm like, bro, he knows everything about me.
Yeah.
And he knows if he can tell me what my issues might be.
Completely. It's like even yesterday on the podcast, like you had some questions, you did some research on my story and stuff. I remember Rob Lipsett did that as well. You know Rob Lipsett?
Yeah, of course.
So he definitely did his homework. And I was like, this is crazy because he was a guy that I had seen on YouTube for many, many years. Like when I was like 16, I'd seen him. Like he's been on YouTube for years and years.
Yep.
I was like, this is super cool that this guy's done research on me and he's like looked into my story, had really good questions. And now if someone brings his name up to me, I'm going to talk highly of him. You know, like I was going to talk highly about him anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that
even more now.
Those little things make you like him. And now I'm just giving him free promo. Not that he needs it. He's a very successful guy. But I'm saying that just more goodwill, more energy around his name. You know?
Yeah.
People are just afraid of doing the work. Like no matter what level you're at, you have to just work hard. But most people get to a good position, or they won't even get into a good position because they're not willing to do that.
Yeah.
They're not willing to do the half an hour research, 2 hours research. But they want to watch TV. But it'll pay off if you actually go the extra mile.
Yeah, it's wild because let's say you didn't do it, did 45, it didn't work, and then you did 45, exactly what they were fearing. It's like you could have just done the 1 hour of research and actually made it hit, the email hit, worked on the header, worked on the first line, the second line, the hook, boom, send it off.
Yeah.
And it would get your attention very quickly. That's like in life. That's in like messaging girls. That's in networking. That's with anything in the world. Like let's say if I sent you a message and it was fucking 2 paragraphs long, I can't keep your attention for 2 paragraphs, even though we're connections, like we're cool. But imagine if there was like fucking 200 words. Hey Hassan, yeah, so I worked out the pod, yeah,
Get to the point.
Brother.
That's why it's just, you always have to understand the other person when you message them is always going to be thinking, what am I going to benefit?
No.
Because everyone just cares about them. They literally couldn't care if you died unless
Yeah.
you're really close. So based on that information, showcase and display to them what you can do for them. That's it. That's the whole of networking summed up.
Yeah.
Whether it's women, whether it's men. Now, what you do for them might be different. With women, it might just be entertainment.
Yeah.
It might be, you put them on your Instagram and you're a big name and then you boost their little model page, a couple thousand or 100 followers, whatever. But the point is some form of value. Whether it's a fun night in the club, right? Like if you have a good club night and girls always know you're in the VIP section having bottles, they have more chance of wanting to go to the club with you because you're that fun guy who's always popping bottles. It's not even like, people think it's gold digging. That's the point that pisses me off the most. If you said to me, Hassan, we're going to go to the club today, like I've already sorted it out, it's on me, like come. I'll be like, okay, but let's say it's like we're just gonna stand in the crowd with everyone. I don't really want to go, and I'm a dude.
Yeah,
I'm not attracted to dudes.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'll be like, all right, it's the VIP section. There's bottles, and it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a couple dudes, but there's gonna be loads of girls. All right, I'll come. Why not? That's a much stronger offer.
Yeah.
So girls are the same. Everyone wants fun. Everyone wants nice things.
Yeah, 100%.
People don't understand this basic fucking human nature. This girl's a gold digger. It's like, no, she's not a gold digger. She just wants a good life, just like you.
Yeah.
But as men, we kind of like, we have to build that wealth. We have to get that money. But, she just joins that life.
Yeah, it's something else. Like, a lot of the time we've got to build it where they've got to be very good at timing. And we don't have to be that. We can take a long time to build ourselves, right?
What do you mean that timing is in that she has to do it while she's young?
Yeah, she can live that lifestyle. She can live it up and get the highest value guy she wants. But she's only got this like short window. And I say short window, it's anywhere between, it can be whatever age that people find attractive, but from like 21 to say 26, 7, it depends on what they've done after it. In those years, let's say if they drunk and done a lot of drugs, 27 onwards, they're a mess, mentally, physically, trauma, all sorts of things. So in that, they've got to be really good at timing. We don't have that problem. We can become successful as quick as possible. But if it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer. We're still successful. Yeah, so I think we all have different things that we have to encounter almost. And that we've got no value at the start. We've got nothing.
Everyone's got different pros and cons. It's like if you're playing a video game, you're choosing between different characters, like which character you want to use in this, like Super Mario, but whatever. It's like this character's fast, this character's strong, this character's smart, this character's got a secret super move. Like just how life is. Everyone's got different pros and cons, different advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, I always think that's a huge thing. It's like, remember when you played like the skateboarding game or the NFL game and the power ups and stuff like that? We're all like that.
Everyone's got different power ups.
Yeah.
100%. You just have to put yourself in positions where your power ups are stronger, or you have to connect with someone who's maybe got a different power up than you. Your weakness is his power up, and that's what business is. Just creating your fantasy team, your dream team.
That's huge. Yeah, no. Specifically, a lot of the point we talk about is social status, and as you said, go to the club, have a bunch of things, have a bunch of people. Being able to orchestrate where you are perceived more highly is a huge skill. And I think the one thing is attention that you work so well with. So is there a system that you use? Is there something you use? Because your ability to captivate attention is, as you said, it's money. It's one of your 48 laws of money.
I think it's the first law, yeah. I know it's the first law. Yeah.
Attention
it's the first
money,
law,
right?
Because you can have everything wrong with your business. No website, 7 of your banks got shut down, you've only got the number 8 left. You're injured, your arm's broken. Your girlfriend just left you. 2 of your members of staff just left. Your leg's hurting. The bench press nearly crushed you in the gym. Everything could be going wrong, whatever, right? Everything could be going wrong. Literally, everything could be going wrong. But as long as you've got lots of traffic to your business, whatever your business is, whether it's some kind of plumbing business and you're doing that plumbing work for people, whether you're installing bathtubs for people, whether you're selling some kind of info product online, whether you're selling t-shirts, whether you're that short form editor and everyone's DMing you because they keep seeing your page pop up and this guy's the world's best short form editor, hire him and you're going to triple your views in 2 days. Whatever it is, if you have traffic coming into you, to your company, to your business, you're going to make money. That's it. Because traffic is just another word for traffic, like literally people walking by.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They're like, oh, what's online traffic? Like traffic is just people. Right? Like if we have a physical business, like a hot dog stall in real life, traffic just means the number of people who walk by a hot dog stall. So we need lots of traffic walking by our website, our Instagram page, our Twitter page, our TikTok page, our landing page, our VSL, our website, So as long as you have lots of traffic, as long as you have lots of people walking by, we're going to make lots of money.
Yeah.
So learning how to get attention and learning to understand what people want to see is very, very important. Because sometimes you have to piss people off to get the people who actually want to pay you money to know who you are. So the best analogy I can give, I've heard this from someone else. I think it was Homozy, like many years ago I heard this analogy is, there's like a ham and garlic. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't.
So there's ham and there's garlic, there's a dog and there's a kid. So basically the story is the kid goes up to his grandma and says, Grandma, dog is ill. He's got loads of I think it's called fleeces, right? Ticks or fleeces, whatever.
Yeah.
The dog's ill. The grandma's like, give the dog lots of garlic, right? The kid, let's just call him Sam. John actually. John goes to the dog. That was a coincidence. I literally didn't. That was a good name.
Way too quick, yeah.
That was way too quick. The kid John goes up to his dog, gives him garlic. The dog doesn't want to eat the garlic. That's whatever the dog does. The kid goes back up to his grandma. He's like, Grandma, the dog's not eating the garlic. The grandma was like, how did you give him the garlic? He's like, I just gave him the garlic like this. Grandma was like, no, that's not how you give the dog garlic, right? What you do is you get the garlic and you wrap it with loads of ham because dogs love meat, they love ham. So you wrap the garlic with loads of ham, then you give the dog the wrapped up garlic and the ham, and obviously dogs like meat, so the dog will eat the ham and the garlic. The garlic is what makes the dog healthier. It removes the ticks and stuff. Then the dog eats the ham, which is basically garlic, and then the dog gets better, right? And the point of this, the whole analogy is, sometimes you have to give people what they want, the ham, to give them what they need, which is the garlic, right? People don't want the garlic, even though it's what they need, right? People just want, again, so on social media, you give them the watches, Steel, Nautilus, Patek, right? You give them what they want to see, right? The cool lifestyle, the LV shirt, the mansion on the palm, the supercars, to give them what they need, which is this knowledge here. This is the knowledge here which you actually need to apply to your own businesses. But no one wants to really hear that unless they know that I've got a Patek.
Yes.
So you give them the funny stuff, you give them the videos with the girls, you give them the fancy jet ski lifestyle in Dubai, you show them that, and then you kind of teach them what you know. If it's something like I'm selling on social media. If you're selling clothing, it's the same thing. You get their attention on TikTok with some nice TikTok videos with a model girl wearing your clothing or a big strong dude wearing the t-shirt, right? Just to get their attention. Okay, I want to be like this person. Okay, I'll buy this clothes. Like Nike, they sponsor Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So all the kids around the world look at Nike like, oh, Ronaldo, Nike. It's combined. Ronaldo wears Nike. That means Nike is the best. I'll buy Nike. You know, if Ronaldo started wearing Adidas, Adidas would rise in stock. It's actually true. You know, recently Gucci have made a massive rise again because people like Ronaldo have been wearing Gucci tracksuits. Like, that's how powerful influencer marketing is.
Yeah.
It's super big. It influences culture massively.
Yeah, it's the I always think of the Amazon reviews. You know, 4,000 versus 16. You're choosing the 4,000 every time, and that's like the celebrity effect. And I even think that's changing a little bit to now. Even people such as yourself, like, you know, you have more influence than a lot of these people because you have the lifestyle based of
Completely. Lifestyle gives you credibility, bro. Depending on what you're selling, you need credibility in that area.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about how you can help people with women and stuff, then it's like, okay, you need to show a lifestyle of you having fun, good social life, high-level friends and women, which is what you do show.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about how, you know, I'll get you in the best shape of your life, then you need to have a good physique and show people that, okay, you were in this position and now you're in this physique and I can show you that. So it's just credibility in whichever area you're selling. But what I've realized with social media is ideally what you want is you want to show as much of everything as you can. So even if you're selling, let's say, a product on the fitness in the gym, ideally you also want to be rich as fuck and ideally you want to have lots of women around you and be in good shape and have a good diet and be speaking well and be funny and charismatic. If you're selling money, ideally you want to be covering every area.
Yep.
Because then you really get people's attention.
You get it from everywhere.
You know.
There's no like way to like, oh, but he's not this.
That's why like someone like Logan Paul gets so much attention. Like Logan Paul is very entertaining. You know, even if it's good or bad, it's entertaining. He's an entertaining guy. So is Jake Paul. But he's also jacked. He's in good shape. He's in the WWE.
Yeah.
He's got controversy in the women area with the Nina stuff right now. But even before, like, you know, he's an in-shape dude. He's a good-looking dude. He can get women, obviously. Like, he's covering all these areas. For a while, it was like him and the Mike Majlak dude.
Yeah.
And they had like Lana Rose and these other porn stars like in their house for the YouTube. Like, he's covering all the areas. He's showing the women. He's in good shape, and he's entertaining, and he's interesting. Like, it makes you want to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
Every area is covered. That's a really smart thing because it's not just one thing anymore.
Yeah, because I say this to people as well, like in my private community. Like, let's say they're selling a fitness offer. I'm like, if I wanted to buy your fitness program, I don't care about you talking to me about the benefits of potassium and zinc and magnesium and diet and that's like the garlic.
Yeah.
I don't care. Tell me that later after I've seen your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Show me you on the beach with girls like touching your abs and tell me how like before you were a loser who couldn't get these girls, but now you're the most confident guy in the whole beach and now you can get all the girls. Then you get my attention if I was interested in that product. Right? Why do I care about potassium? I only care about potassium because I think it's going to get me those girls.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I only care about what you have to say now, Hassan, because I believe it will get me the Patek. And if I wear the Patek to the nice restaurant, then I'll look cool and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. Even my offer, just being with you is credibility, which is in terms of like getting around people that are also extremely good at what they do. Again, it shows that you can connect with everyone around the world.
And it is credibility because that means you know networking. Like it's completely credibility.
Yeah.
And no matter how you got the podcast, no matter if you were friends with that person, no matter if they just wanted to talk to you, whatever the reason was, that is credibility that you are an interesting person who knows what he's talking about when it comes to networking.
Yeah.
And he told me some other big names. You did one with Sterling
Waller,
Cooper.
Sterling, yeah,
A
absolutely.
few other big names. So
yeah,
that's credibility.
It's a fundamental thing. The reputation, a lot of people don't think of it, and it's huge in what I teach in dating. Reputation is really important.
Even like last year, we only met one time before yesterday's podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and Romania actually.
Yeah, so we met once here, once in Romania.
But I remember just thinking, like after I left last time, I remember thinking you were very likable, telling Craig like Sam's very likable. He was like, yeah, he is. And then that was it. Then we didn't say much else, but
yeah, absolutely.
it's important to be likable.
100%.
That's huge, man. Maybe we can talk about that for a couple minutes because in sales as well, like, I get goosebumps even talking about this because it's so powerful and people underestimate this point. What they'll do is they'll think, oh, I need to change this about my business, change that. Sometimes you just have to be more likable. That helps so much because for someone to buy from you or your company, they have to like your company. Let's just say like you. Let's just talk about personal brands for a minute. They have to like you. Sorry, they have to know you first. Knowing you, again, attention. That's number one. Then they have to like you and also trust you. But if they don't like you, it's very hard for them to trust you because like and trust go together. I trust you. Okay, do I trust you as much as Craig? No, because I don't know you as much.
Of course.
Of course. Do I trust you as much as my mom? Well, it depends on what kind of trust because I always say there's two kinds of trust. There's trust in competence and there's trust in like, is this person ever going to betray me?
Yes.
I trust my mom's intentions more because she's my mom, obviously.
Course, yeah.
But I trust your competence more because, you know, you're a dude and you focus on making money and all these kind of stuff. My mom knows nothing about these things.
Sure.
So there's two kinds of trust. But anyway, if someone doesn't like you, it's very hard for them to trust you. If I hate you, Sam, he's annoying, he's this, he's that. I'm not going to trust you. They kind of go together. Like and trust are kind of almost the same word to a degree.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Think about it. All the people you like, you kind of trust them. You know, so
Yeah.
if you're trying to make money, guys, especially if it's through your personal brand, think about how you can become more likable.
Yeah, I think the very first one, especially with the network, is like, are they going to hurt me? Is the very first one.
Say that again. In what way? Sorry.
So like if we meet,
Yeah.
you now can trust me that I'm not going to punch you in the face.
Right.
So that's the first like level of like, okay,
Yeah,
he's
okay.
but if you had a guy that's a bit schizo and a bit like all over the place, you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what this guy's capable of.
Bro, I can't say which situation, but this happened to me the other day. I was actually worried that this guy who was someone, I'm not going to say the situation, but
Yeah.
someone I knew, I was like worried they were going to shoot me. This was in like America the other day. I was like, this guy, because he's a bit crazy, is a bit of a nutter. And I heard he was saying some bad things about me, some weird things to another person that I knew. They passed on the information to me.
Sure.
I was like, is this guy just going to like, it was in my mind. I know it's an extreme example, but
Yeah.
like that's how, like trust is that important.
Well, no, I think for the underlying, so when we look at like male and female relationships versus male and male like friendships, the underlying with the male and female is there's never going to be physical violence like as a average, right? Male and male, it's one of the biggest things that we have where we have to identify, is this person going to actually hurt me? That's like our biggest thing because we're always on edge. There's always an underlying threat of physical violence within everything I say. You say something wrong, you do something wrong, this person now wants to attack you, right?
Yeah.
So like that's the first one where you got to be like disarming that, like I'm not going to hurt you, which is crazy because people don't even think of this. Like there's so many layers to this.
Yeah.
Where you're like likability, because you know obviously it's what we study and what we do. Likability to the way you dress, the way you act, the way your body language works, the way you communicate, the way you speak, the way you think about different situations. Like even the ability that I've learned how to. It's called like the way that you operate. It's not like I'm a chameleon, but I know how you operate, so I make it easier to make it likable, right? So if I told you, here's 3 paragraphs, here's a 59-second voice note, you'd be like, this motherfucker, like, you know, because I'm taking too much. So we think about it like we talk about the emotional bank account. So imagine like we have an interaction, like the bottle of water, we have this, and every time we meet, so we met 2 times last year, we put dollars in the bank account, right? And so, but if I continue to take that out, we got nothing. You're like, fuck this dude.
True, yeah. I kind of knew that point, but I hadn't heard it in that way. That's true. Very true.
Everything we do, whether it's like organizing stuff, it's all just good emotions we're putting in. Good podcast, good emotions.
Yeah.
That can be drained really quickly, even from someone you've had for a lot of years.
Completely. One of my favorite quotes in the world: "Gratitude is a burden, but revenge is a pleasure." So that's super powerful. Like human beings in general, it's just a human thing. People don't almost like wanting to be too grateful and show too much good gratitude. But like, if someone did you wrong, you almost want to get them back. It's like it's a sick thing of human nature, but it's like a twisted, perverted thing. But it's true. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think that if there's a spectrum, I'm definitely on the better side of the spectrum because that's why I'm successful. Because I do give a lot of good emotions. I do give a lot more than I take. But especially the average person you interact with, that's why it's so important to be around good people because they're not on this whole like scared to give. Yeah. The more successful someone is, the more they want to give because they know it comes back. Yes. It's always the poor, stupid, dumb people that want to just take so much. So they're more on the side of like gratitude is a burden, revenge is a pleasure. The more successful you are, it's kind of we like giving.
Well, yeah,
we like being grateful.
I feel like as if when you know entrepreneurship, you know that karma is a real thing.
It's just basic cause and effect.
Yeah.
If I help, because what a lot of people do is they're scared to give a lot of free value with their content, let's say, because then they think, if I give loads of free value, then no one's going to pay me. But it's not actually how that works. If anything, they're like, okay, this guy gave me loads of free value and his free stuff was that good. Imagine how good his paid stuff is. Yeah. So it actually works in a completely different way than most people believe.
I think one of the things that's really, really good, especially in the likability, and I've heard it over times, big leaders, is that they have core points that they regurgitate over and over and over. And that's one of, I think, your specialties, not only your story that everybody knows by now, but certain things like leaving your hometown, get out of your parents' house, all of these core things. Yeah. They're kind of almost like your mantras at this point, or things that you
do more, think less.
Yeah, do more, think less.
It's just because it's like we were saying yesterday, like you have to repeat a lot of the same points, otherwise people just don't see them. Like I learned this from my friend TikTok, HS TikTok. He was making the point of there's always new people on social media seeing you. And I didn't really realize that until he told me, he said it publicly now since then, but he sold over 100,000 workout programs, right? 100,000. When he told me that, I was like, what? That's so much. That's crazy. Because he'd be going on TikTok live, let's say 7,000 people. Sometimes there'd be more, but let's say 8,000 people. And he'd be selling so many programs. And I was like, but eventually, aren't you just going to run out of customers? Like, how does it work? Right? This was after he kind of stopped selling them. And he was like, no, what used to happen is just there's always a different 7,000 people on there. Yeah, there's a couple people like John's always on the live stream. He's just a super fan. But in general, it's different people every time. You do a stream at 7 a.m., it's different people than 11 p.m. You do a stream at 11 p.m. on Monday, it's different than Wednesday, 3 p.m. And because there's always different people, you have to repeat the same points. So if you watched a few of his streams, it'd always be the same points. Guys, buy the workout program, buy the muscle build. If you're a bit skinny, trying to put on muscle, you're going to get in good shape, get girls, be wham for the summer, blah, 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 blah. Always the same points over and over because the person who's watching today, he wasn't on the Monday stream. So you can't assume people know what you're going to say. You have to keep repeating the same points over and over again because it's like there's another saying. It kind of goes into the whole, I think Kobe Bryant said it. The reason why he used to go so hard in basketball games is because he imagined a fan had come to see him for the first time in the stadium. So you have to go hard because otherwise then you've left a bad impression to that kid who's only come seeing you one time. It's kind of the same thing with social media. You have to act like that day, new day, new money. It's what I always say. So my name of my network's New Money. New day, new money. New day, new goals. New day, new podcast. New day, repeat the same points. New day, the same everything. Because it's true. Every day you have to brush your teeth. Every day you have to have a shower. So every day talk to your business partners. Every day talk to your staff. Every day you got to eat food. Every day you got to go sleep. It's always the same thing. But in business, people are like, oh no, I talked about this 3 days ago. Yeah, but you have to do it again and again and again. And there's a saying, once you get super bored of saying the same point over and over, that's when people just start hearing you say that. And that's super true in marketing and sales. So as soon as you're sick of saying da-da-da, da-da-da, that's when someone's just heard it. Because no one cares about you as much as you think.
Yeah.
And there's so many points that I've mentioned. I think you said this to me. So you came up to me in the event last year in Romania. We had like this private event. And you said to me, Hassan, yeah, you were the first person who ever mentioned this point to me. You said, I check your Telegram, I say once every few days, there's like 500 messages in there. Hassan, you post so much. It's because I was posting like 70, 80 things a day. And then you said, I was like, fucking hell, I didn't realize it stacks up that quickly. Or people don't check it that often.
Yep.
You kind of open, because not in an arrogant way, but I almost just thought like people just keep checking it all the time.
Sure.
But you kind of opened my mind up to like, no, people check it once every 4 days. And if they check it once in 4 days, they can't go through all the content. It's too much. So think about how much content people will miss. If they've seen 4 days of content, maybe they see me post something interesting about sales. They'll check that out.
Yep.
But they haven't got the time to check out the marketing and this part and this point and this point and this point. So you have to repeat the same things over and over again. Because there's always new people finding you on social media. And those old people who found you already, they're not watching all your podcasts. So if you say something on this podcast, you have to say it on the next podcast tomorrow or the next week's podcast.
That's a real big thing. When you get sick of it, that's when people just started hearing it.
Yeah, it's huge for social media. I learned this kind of from door-to-door sales, really, because what would end up happening is I would talk to a guy called Sam. Hello, da-da-da, talk to him. He'd reject me, shut the door, let's say. I can't assume that Peter, the next guy, the next door, he does not know us, he does not know our company, he does not know the boilers, he knows nothing. So I have to completely repeat with the exact same energy. Now, if I let Sam's door affect this door and I'm 2% less energy, then this guy who might have said yes if I was on 100% energy is now going to say no because now I'm 98% energy because Sam took that 2% energy. So what I developed was this technique called learn my averages, know my numbers. So if I knew, because in sales, this is a big, big problem for a lot of people. What they'll do is their energy will get affected throughout the day. They'll be cold calling 10 people in a row, an 11th person, they'll start getting tired. Or door-to-door, or emails, or social media, and their energy will be discouraged. But the reason why I'm such an input guy, not a results guy, is because I know that every podcast I do, let's just say it's worth this amount of money, or this amount of goodwill, this result, then it doesn't matter if I actually make a sale from a podcast, or it doesn't matter if I actually get this many views on a podcast, because on average, a podcast is worth this much. Does that make sense? So the best example is, let's say I'm doing door-to-door sales, each boiler sale is worth like £150 average. If I knock on a door and I get a sale every 25 doors, 150 divided by 25 doors is £6 per door. So each door is £6. Whether Sam said yes to me or whether Sam said no, it's still £6. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, Sam said no. I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because I got £6 fucking pounds. All right, cool. £6. Knock on the next door, £6. So even if they keep saying no, my energy then became the same and I was like unstoppable because Sam said no. I don't care. The next one's a yes because one of the next 25 have to be a yes. And another analogy, because I like to use analogies to really make the point clear. Imagine I said to you right now on this table, there's 25 cards, and you have to keep flipping them over until you find the gold card.
Yep.
And you have unlimited time, or you have 1 minute, and you can flip them over as quick as possible. And if you get the gold card, you get £1 million, whatever. £20, whatever. You're gonna quickly flip, it's a red card. You don't care because one of the 25 is a fucking gold card. You're gonna keep flipping, right? until you get the gold card. And then you're going to flip it because obviously you're flipping like 3 every second. You'll eventually find it within the 1 minute. Cool. You've made your £1 million. You made your £20, whatever you want to make. So that's how I looked at door-to-door sales, because one of the 25 will be a sale because I know my numbers. So now some smart ass watching will be thinking, yeah, but what about if you don't get a sale within the 25? Yeah, but over the next 25 doors, I'll get 2 sales because it's 1 in 25. So even if it's 0 in 60 doors, out of the next 40 doors, I'll probably get 4 sales because it's 4 in 100 or 1 in 25. So if you know your numbers, you know your averages, you're completely detached from the result, which makes you unstoppable because then your emotions don't get in the way and your energy is the same on every door, energy is the same on every cold call, energy is the same on every tweet. It's always the same.
It makes sense how you liked accounting. I don't know if it was university. I heard that there was something you were either going into it or you were thinking about it, becoming an accountant.
Yeah, I was doing accounting and finance in uni.
Yeah,
I've always been very quick with numbers. As a kid, I was like always the quickest in every school at numbers.
That's why
like any multiplication question, 7 times 7, like I was always the quickest kid. So
numbers are a huge thing.
Yeah.
Especially it sounds like within sales and knowing your numbers for a business. You're not the first person. In the last I think 5 days, I've heard it twice now.
It's everything.
Know
It's
your
everything.
Numbers, know your numbers.
And
your numbers.
what I realized is when I was tired in door-to-door sales and I wanted to go home, I'll tell myself, because if I told myself I have to get a sale to get paid, I'll be like, maybe I'm not going to get a sale. I might as well go home because sales is commission.
Yeah.
I want to go home if I don't get a sale. Because if I knock for the next hour and I don't get any sale, I've literally wasted an hour of my life. That's how I looked at it, right? So I was like, okay, that's awful. Because then it's a non-competitive mindset. So then I sat there and thought to myself, okay, if every door is £6, let me just knock on 5 more doors. Because £30 at the time was a lot of money for me. $40 to knock on some doors, 5 minutes. Okay, I'll do it. So what I'll do is like, knock. £6, £6. So like, okay, that's £30 and 5 doors. Surely I can just knock on another 5 doors. It's not that tiring. It takes 2 minutes. If they reject me, sometimes they don't answer the door. Still £6.
Yeah.
That's all included within the averages. And then I keep going through it. It's like, before you know it, I've knocked on another 12 doors, 13 doors. Before you know it, I've actually made a sale. So it's all mindset. It's all tricking your mind.
Yes, we did it with back in the day with the cold approach, cold approaching girls. And it was like, most guys would go up and like, oh, she rejected me. Oh, fuck, all right. All right, huh? Hi, oh, fuck, you should go boyfriend and that. So I changed it. I was like, all right, let's change this completely. Imagine if you knew you were going to get the girl in 7 approaches.
Yeah.
How fast would the first 6 be? Rejected, cool, perfect, boom. Next one. Oh, this is good. 3 more to go, 2 more to go, 1 more to go. Boom, there. I know exactly what you mean.
Everything is numbers. Like, I love that example. And another way you can look at the whole girl situation is, look, imagine your girl funnel is this. Talk to a girl in real life, you get her IG. From IG, you get her WhatsApp. From my WhatsApp, you get a date. Every couple dates, you get, like, say, you in bed with the girl, and then maybe she's your girlfriend, if that's what you're looking for. Just you had sex with the girl that you want to have sex with. Whatever, right? So it's like, okay, let's just say every 50 girls you talk to, you get, I don't know, how many Instagrams you get. Depends on the guy, obviously.
Sure.
Let's just say 10 to keep the examples.
That's good numbers, yeah.
Cool, 1 in 5, right? Probably higher if you're pretty confident, right? 50 goes to 10 Instagrams. Out of the 10 Instagrams, let's say you get five WhatsApps, right? Or just from 50 in person, you get 5 WhatsApps, right? 10%. But out of 5 WhatsApps, you get 2 dates. And out of 2 dates, one of them is that a girl you sleep with or whatever. The point is, break down the numbers, whatever you think your numbers are.
1 to 50.
Well, then it's like every 50 girls I talk to in real life, one of them is going to sleep with me, or one of them is going to be my girlfriend, or one of them is going to, again, break the numbers down however you see fit.
Yeah.
That's very powerful. Because then you couldn't give a fuck about 49 girls.
Yeah.
Because then you just talk to the 50 hottest girls you can find every day, and then you got fucking new girl every day. Like, you're king of earth. And you're Mr. Damsarian.
Increasing your numbers, increasing your value.
And your conversions now go up. Now it's not 50 equals 5 WhatsApps. It's now 12 WhatsApps. And then it's 2 point whatever times more girls. 2.4 times more girls.
That's when the scripting was a big thing. If I got to this message, I knew that the conversion was going to be easier.
Everything's numbers.
Yeah. When you really go down to it, even like social skills, socializing. Numbers. Yeah, 100%. It's like I've done this podcast so much and you can't do an hour. An hour, it doesn't exist. It's got to be 2 hours because there's always traffic or there's always this and you just like learn the pattern. And then when it comes pattern recognition. I guess numbers are pattern recognition.
Yeah, that's why I always tell people, do more, think less. Because doing is what teaches you. People think that thinking is what teaches you. When has thinking ever taught you anything? It's the doing and then the analyzing after the doing. All right, finish this podcast, then I'll finish this podcast and say, okay, next podcast, Hassan, it's better to turn up 10 minutes early because today I was like 20 minutes late, So it's better to turn up early. Okay, next podcast, I have to turn up early because that's 2 in a row now. All right, turn up early next podcast. Sure.
100%.
That's 1 lesson for the day. That's fine.
Yeah, that's the
Add
only way
that to my endless knowledge already.
Yeah, they're like as you get like more and more, I think life becomes because it's so chaotic and it's just so much to do. You see the pitfalls of everything, and so you just learn the timing of life a little bit better.
Completely, man. Everything is just pattern recognition. Everything is just taking this lesson, and before you know it, now you've got 2 lessons better, 2 lessons smarter. And then let's say tomorrow I was doing a podcast and now I actually turned up 10 minutes early.
Yep.
Then I'll see the effect of being 10 minutes early. Now I have an extra 20 minutes in the podcast, Then this happens, then this happens, then this happens. Now I have more energy on the podcast, longer. Maybe I'll get in more of a momentum. We have more time to talk about each point. Maybe there's more value for the people watching. Now it's double as good, the podcast. It's a fucking upward spiral. It's tons of momentum.
It's the same thing with the Red Bull too. You know, I've found so many. So if you can give them Red Bull, boom, they're so much more energetic. Everything is just like, it's got a cause and effect, as you said. That's a massive, especially with, what you do and everything that you do. It's cause and effect. It seems like it.
It's because the real reason is because people want the first podcast to be sick. But like you said about the 7 girls, it's like, excuse me, if you just tell yourself you want podcast number 50 to be the good one, then you don't care about the first 49. You just want to get them out of the way as quick as possible.
And get better, and that's how you get better. Just
it's what Mr. Beast said about his videos on YouTube. He's like, I just want my 100th video to be all right. Just get the first 100 done.
Yeah.
The number 101 will be good.
That's what I noticed about like even my business Instagram. It was like, okay, 200 posts equaled this amount of followers, 12,000 followers.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Hassan, a guy that's also in New Money. And I was saying, all right, well, in order to get to this amount of followers, we just have to increase the posts.
Oh, he works with you?
Yeah, no, I was living with him in LA for a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was going, okay, so
everyone's connected.
Yeah, 100%.
I know Hassan, and then David told me he was working with them. I was like, he's in my network. He's like, yeah, I know, and da-da-da. It's like,
everyone knows
cool
everyone.
guy, Hassan.
So I was like, okay, well, you just have to improve the numbers. That's it. Just post more. And then what do you know? I put 50 posts in a shorter amount of time. Boom, blows up even more.
It's just so beautiful how it's just all numbers. Because I'm a numbers guy, so I love numbers. So it's like, and numbers rule the world. Maths and physics rule the world.
Yeah.
That's how they predict how the rockets end up in space, and they're just using calculations and numbers and all this tech nerd shit, right? It's just all numbers. It's all algo, software, coding. It's like all numbers, and everything's numbers. Everything is numbers. So if you understand numbers, you're going to go far.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how I've actually looked at it. I'm like, okay, I built this presence for myself on social media. You know what? I did this the other day. Let me finish that point. I did this the other day. I went on TikTok, searched some big names, and I realized that they've all done like over 100,000 posts with their hashtag. So even my friend TikTok, his hashtag has got 107,000 posts of his name. Luke Belmar, this guy, that guy. I was like looking up a lot of names, right? Guys that are cool on social media, have a nice brand to them. I was like, this guy's got 120 posts. This guy's got 107, my friend HS. This guy's got 150,000. I was like, how many have I got? Because I've never really posted on TikTok. It's just some guys posted for me. It's like 7,000. I was like, well, if I just 20x my number of videos, and because it's exponential, then my name becomes and face becomes way more recognizable. Then each post I do becomes more viewed because now I'm a bigger name. It's like, if I just posted the 150K like these guys, I'd probably be as big as that. It's cause and effect. So, okay. Sorry?
Go on. Even with Twitter, it's like you've posted 36,000 times. You've got 100,000, 113,000 now.
So, yeah, and a few of them are like auto plugs. So it's me promoting my Telegram. It's like actual tweets, I'd say I've done 30,000.
Okay.
But it's like, okay, I've done 30,000 for, let's say, 115,000 followers.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's nearly every tweet is 4 followers. But no, it's not quite like that, because now if I tweet it's worth more than 4 followers, you could argue, sure. At the beginning it was less. But, okay, if I was to do another 30,000 tweets, so maybe this time it would be half as quick or a third as quick.
Well, yeah.
Another 10,000 tweets would get me. And then, you know what I'm trying to say? It's all a volume game.
Yeah. You might not even have to do that. You've learned the skill within the 30,000 to only put 5,000 out and they're bangers. That's it. I like that.
Completely.
That's really good.
Or another way of thinking of it is like, everything I've achieved so far, that was in the past. That 30,000 tweets got me this. Now, that's done though. Those 30,000 tweets are completely done. I have to rewrite new things. Okay, that's what I mean about rewrite. Keep repeating yourself. I already mentioned that was in the past. That got me these results. That got me this brand. So everything I've ever said, starting from now, that's in the past. That's previous history. It's history. It's not present. Don't even talk about it ever again. Everything you've ever said on the podcast, that was the old Sam, the younger Sam. Even if it was yesterday, that was previous Sam. Now you have to reset. It's a completely new podcast. There'll be people watching this who have never watched either of us before. So you've got to give them value, reset, mentally reset, new day, new money, new day, new goals, new day, new everything,
Yes.
So then begin again.
It's such a powerful song, that one too. I was listening to it before we came here. By
You did?
the Migos, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
such
New Migos have a song called New Money.
Yeah,
A lot of rappers have a song called New Money, and I always make the joke that they made the song for me, and it's a great song.
Well, they did, right? You know?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, so
I paid
yeah.
them.
I love-
But yeah, man, just that mindset of like, another way of looking at it is just, yeah, like everything you've ever done got you to this point in your life. Another powerful analogy is, imagine you arrived at a shore, like, right, to some water, and you want to carry on your journey. You're walking through a forest, you're walking through a jungle, whatever, and you arrive at some water, okay? So you arrive at some water, and you are here. And then magically there's a canoe, there's a boat next to the water, next to the riverbank. You know that you have to take this canoe, cross the other side, okay? What are you going to do? You're going to swim or you're going to get in the boat? You're going to get in the boat, go to the other side. Then what are you going to do when you're at the other side? Are you going to carry this boat on your shoulder with you, or are you going to leave it there and just carry on your journey? 100%. You just leave it there and carry on your journey. It's kind of the same thing with life. Like, some things serve you up until a point. You have to just say, okay, that was in the past, and then carry on your journey. So I'm kind of tying the points together with social media. Okay, this previous podcast, this previous video got me to this point of the journey. Yep. All right, now we leave it. We're not going to keep resting on this podcast for, I did the podcast 7 months ago and it's enough. No, today's a new day. Yeah. Today's a new hour. So one of my slogan for 2024 is dominate the hour. Like, every hour I try to win the hour, because there's only 5,840 waking hours in a decade. In a year.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
So let me just type on the calculator, check, because I don't know which ones. Yeah, so there's 365 times 16, 5,840 waking hours. And we're already over a third of the year in. So you can do times 0.62 of the year. So there's about 3,600 hours left, waking hours left in the year. Only got 3,600 of these hours. So I gotta dominate each hour. If I dominate each one of these 3,600, I'll be a billionaire by the end of the year. You know, that's how I kind of think. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but I'll be mega successful. So just keep winning each hour. If I keep winning each hour, that's why I'm such an input guy. I don't care about the results, because, all right, turn up to this podcast, then leave here, probably go to the gym. Okay, I need to eat food, do this, do that, and then just keep trying to find some things to do. Then you'll be all right.
Do you hire people out to then curate it and make it better? So let's say you're doing. Do you then hire, pay people to make the system better? So let's say the gym or food or eating or here. Or
I have a chef, I have a maid, but there's definitely a couple things. I mean, there's always things to work on. Right now, there are a couple things I need to hire people for. But
are you looking at that? Okay, well, now what I can do best is do. Do I use input to do that better?
I just found that whenever in my life I've tried to be a bit too smart, it always backfires, and life teaches me, sure, hire Hassan, do this, talk to smart people, but always keep your input ridiculously high. Okay. That's what I've realized. No matter, even if I'm hiring, even if I'm finding someone else, if you're always doing so much yourself, you're more on it, you're more switched on, you're more warm, you're more hot, 100%. You're more, you're on form, you're more ready. I don't know how to explain it. You're just more there. You need to be there, even if you're hiring staff. The more there you are to answer their questions, I learned this from door-to-door sales because of my team. The more you're answering their questions quickly, the more they feel like, oh, Hassan's always he's working as hard as me, if not harder. You want that. So yeah, hire people, sure, but you need to actively always be doing things yourself. If you really want to make the most progress, and I always use this example to highlight the point, because some people watching this no, a true entrepreneur can rest and just his staff do everything. Well, yeah, your business can still run, but if your life depended on it and you had to achieve this goal, and you're here and you have to achieve this goal by the end of the year, would you be on the beach for 7 hours a day and work 8 hours a day and have 1 hour 1 hour chilling, or would you rather work 16 hours a day and have your staff working 16 if you had to choose? The second option. You'd always be on it. You and your whole team would be on it. So this whole hiring to then avoid responsibility, if you're the number one in your company, you're the number one in your life, you're the main character, then you have to be on it all the time. Because your staff aren't on it 16 hours a day. Your staff 9 to 5.
Yeah, and that makes a huge amount of sense. Because it's why would you want to take a break from your own life?
That's the point, man. People are do you not get tired? Well, how?
Yeah.
I'm always doing what I want.
100%.
And if I wasn't doing what I want, then I'll be never tired because I want to quickly stop doing what I don't want.
Yeah.
So I'd have more energy, if anything.
It's almost your energy is a big factor of how well you're running your life yourself. And if you're tired and lazy and lethargic, you're not doing what you should be doing.
Bro, I said this to myself. I asked this to myself. I was like, what is my dream life? I think it's because someone asked me the other day in my community. They were like, if you had $1 billion or if you had more money, what would you do? And I was actually thinking that, what would I do? And I couldn't really think of much else different. I'm already living in one of the best cities in the world. I have a great life. And I was like, what would I do differently? And I was like, okay, sure, I'd take more jets. Cool. Would I, maybe in the summer I'd have a crazy super yacht, mega yacht that costs like 700 grand for the week. Sure. With a few friends. Cool. But I was like, what else would I really do different? Like, what's my actual dream life? And I started breaking it down and I was thinking, okay, I'd probably start waking up earlier because then I'd have more sunlight. I feel like I like having daylight.
Yep.
It makes you feel good. So I was like, okay, maybe I'd wake up earlier. Well, that costs no money. You just wake up earlier.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, what else would I really do? And I was like, maybe spend a bit more time in the sun. Sure. And I was really trying to find things and I couldn't really think of anything. I was like, so I started waking up earlier. I told you today, I was like, I had like a business meeting with my brother. We were just walking on the beach and I was like, this is actually my dream life. Besides, okay, maybe some jets and... But then I said this, I was like, let's say your dream life is like, you wake up and then you take a jet to like another city. Well, start with first class. Okay, you can't afford first class. Well, then go to business. You can't afford business. Well, then go on economy. At least then you can afford to go wherever you want. That's that element of freedom. So that's basically your dream life. Just jets instead of economy, let's say, or jets instead of business, or jets instead of first. Like, people are closer than they realize to their dream life.
Yeah.
Like, what's your dream life? Like, it's good to get clear on it.
Well, 100%. Yeah, no, that's a really, really good thing. I think people don't even know what they want. And for me, I think that's what started and that's what became apparent this year. I'm like, I'm living the dream life that I wanted to, but that was like 4 years ago me. Like, I lived that. That's not what I want now.
So what you want now are you far away from it? Like, do you know what you want now, or?
Yeah, so definitely I want now. So my idea was always to be not only the biggest in the industry, in what our industry, but to reach my potential. And there's different ways. It's not just one business, multiple different businesses, traveling all around the world, friends all around the world, girls all around the world. Until I had a business until I had like not only one business, second source of income, third source of income, and then I could do pretty much the things that I wanted to do at that point. As I've got older and as I've got wiser, now it's changed. It's like, why are you waiting to just fucking do it? And then life will help you out along the way. Do everything that you want. It was always like, oh, I'll wait for that. I'll wait for that. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Wait for what? In like what sense? So
like, oh, it was when I had more money or when I had more time or this is helping.
Then you do what?
Then I would travel more. I would go meet new people. I would just be on all scopes of the world. So in Dubai, LA, I'd have everything on tap. And then, but that wanting was just a want. It would never eventuate. Yeah,
it's complete and utter cope.
And so even like I had to make rough decisions. I was talking to you yesterday. Luckily he didn't pass, but I had to leave like certain dying family members because that was that's hard for people to understand, but it was, I know they wouldn't want me to stay there, but it was like, it's also, I'm not doing a service for myself. They would want me to serve myself and myself is my kids, my grandkids. As you get older, that's what I noticed. Wasn't like that in my 20s.
Yeah.
Bro, as soon as you get to 28, 29, 30, you're just like, oh shit, no, kids are along the way. It's just, your DNA, it's not as if you want kids, it's your DNA telling you. You feel it internally. You're like, oh no, that's coming. That's eventually coming. And now you got to be like, all right, in the next 5 years, I got to sort a girl, or the next 10 years, I got to sort a girl that I feel is going to be a good mother. And so for me, that wasn't back home. That was somewhere internationally.
100%. Yeah, a lot of good game there. 100%. But that point of always delaying, that's what I'm saying. It's just pure cope. So this is what I was saying to myself is like, what actually is my dream life? Because when I'm older, I look back at these days and be like, these are the good old days.
Yep.
So whatever I actually would want to be doing every day, just start doing that now. So if you want to spend a bit more time in the sunlight, go do that. If you want to actually wake up a bit earlier, do that now. If you actually want to go talk to this many girls and live a party lifestyle, then have the parties now.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay, if you're completely broke and you're completely fat, then okay, maybe the gym and healthy food would be better for you right now than just party endlessly. But also like set yourself a goal. Okay, I only need to lose this much weight and then I'll be in pretty decent shape. And then it's like, then go party for a bit. Like make it like actually put like a deadline on these things. Like say, okay, within 6 months, I really should be in a position now where I can go party. Whether it's financially or physically, I'm not so fat.
And then hold yourself.
Just make it real. I always say it like, make it real. I got that from Tate. That was like one of my favorite quotes from him, make it real. It's like whenever you'd have an idea and you talk to him, it'd just be like, yeah, make it real, make it real. Like, what? Okay, yeah, I want to build this, make it real. Like, it doesn't matter, make it real, like, turn it into reality. All right, I want to do a podcast with Sam later today because we did one yet. Make it real. Okay, how do I make this real? Like, okay, if I just think of doing a podcast now with Sam, is he going to be able to, through the air, just be able to feel this energy and that no. Okay, I need to go on IG and message him or go on WhatsApp, call him or whatever. Okay, do you want to do a podcast? Da, 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 da. Okay, then he replies, okay, you book it. Okay, sort this out. Boom, boom, boom. Like, you have to make the idea real. You can't just be like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to travel. But like, how do you travel?
Yes.
You got to book a ticket. Well, are you going to go alone or are you going to go with people? Okay, you decided to go alone. Okay, so what's stopping you from booking the ticket now? The other day, someone in my network said, Hassan, I learned so much from you in the New York event about social media because I was just teaching them loads about social media. I was going into detail, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm gonna make an Instagram page tonight. I'm gonna start doing IG reels to promote my like metal roofing business. I was like, do it now. I was like, oh shit. I was like do it fucking now. Like, the fuck you doing it tonight? Yeah, but just do it now. He's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Always just do it now. It always happens with people. Even with my brother, I say this to him. Because like my mindset is just, it sounds extreme to people. Even people who are smart in business, they still don't fully understand it. I said to my brother, I'm like, yo, we need to call the gardener to sort out the pool, or because it's like it gets dirty sometimes, or we need to sort out the this and that problem with the house, or this supercar's broken. And he's like, all right, text the guy. I'm like, no. Okay, fine. Text him for 2 seconds and then quickly call him.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, but it's Sunday 9 p.m. He might think I don't care. Like, I'm paying him to sort my super. Just call him. He won't answer. Okay, give him 3 missed calls. Why? Because 3 missed calls shows more urgency than no missed calls. So when he sees Hassan messaged, or Danny, my brother's name, messaged him and called him 3 times, he'll be like, oh shit, these guys want me. I'm going to reply, or I'll call them back. If someone calls you 8 times, you can be like, oh shit, it's urgent. And then they'll call you back straight away.
Oh, 100%.
They might think, they'll be like, fuck, what the fuck is wrong with him? You know? Yeah. The number of calls you do shows the importance of it. So I'm like, because I always say it. They're like, oh no, that's not needed. Well, okay, back to the example. If your life depended on you sorting out that problem within 1 day, would you call them 1 time or just text them 1 time?
Yeah.
It's better to call them 1 time. Is it better to call them 1 time, or is it better to call them 7 times? It's better to call them 7 times. If you had to sort out a problem with your car or your air conditioning in the house, right? You had to sort out a problem with your house or air conditioning within 24 hours. Would you text your air conditioning guy or the electrician dude or the whatever you call them to come sort it out? Or would you just be calling them like, yo, bro, it's urgent. Come. The house is about to explode, a fire. We need you to put the AC on.
Yep.
The second option.
100%.
So it's always a case of just being urgent and moving with speed and conviction and giving yourself deadlines. Like, I have to do this podcast now.
Yep.
Like, even like I said this yesterday, like say you said to me, bro, today's better for a podcast day than yesterday. I would have replied something like, nah, bro, like it has to be today. I'm going to be busy tomorrow. And just because it has to be done today. I give myself these deadlines. Like, no, it has to be done now.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you really can't do it, fine. But
yeah. But it's so funny because how you learned that is incredible, because I know how I learned that. And that was because when I worked for the company I worked for, I was the CEO's assistant for 2 years, or basically a year and a bit. And so when it was like, organize that hotel, this, that, helicopter, this, that, we need a car, we need that. So I had to do that. I had to learn that. I was like, write the 4 things down, boom, boom, boom. So that's how I learned how to be quick. But it's interesting how you learned this quickness.
Because you have to make it real quickly. Otherwise, because the more you delay something so simple, then your mind can't think of the next idea, the next play, the next move. But if you get this podcast done now, because look, if we didn't do the podcast yesterday, then today, let's say we did the podcast, it would only been the first podcast today. But now this is the second one, you know? And then maybe you were leaving tomorrow and then we would have only, whatever.
Yes, shit happens.
Or, or something, or maybe you got injured on the jet ski yesterday, or who knows what.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say you got injured on the jet ski yesterday, then we wouldn't have done the podcast even today. So we've got no podcast instead of 2. And maybe because we did the podcast and we overran by 2 minutes, then you didn't get injured on the jet ski, and maybe like... Energy is a real thing, you know, just do more always, think less, make it real, make it happen, quick, speed. Because nothing ever gets done by thinking. That's what I realized. Like, I used to be the biggest overanalyzer and thinker. This is how I learned all this. Because for a while, I was such an overanalyzer and thinker. Because when you're smart, you naturally overthink. And you like to weigh up all the consequences, and you're rational, and you try to be rational. But I realized, like, the biggest fear or the biggest downside or the biggest problem or the biggest thing that could stop you from achieving your goals in life is not even making mistakes. It's just by moving too slowly. Because let's say you take a guy, average IQ, average look, average everything, completely average on paper. But he just said, I'm going to work all day long. Whatever you tell me to do, I'll do it. And you could control him, let's say, with a controller. Like, you're literally playing a video game like GTA. You say, okay, go here, talk to these 25 people, talk to this person, go to this networking event, talk to Sam, talk to these girls, talk to these girls. When you get home, write down the top 10 lessons you've learned that day, then go gym, drink 3 liters of water a day, watch this podcast, write notes on this, apply the stuff you learned from this podcast in real life, do this. Then, like, within 2 weeks, he's going to be fucking intelligent. Yeah, alone 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, a year is a long, long time. Like I said, you've got those 5,840 waking hours. It's just that people don't use them.
Yeah, effectively at all.
So imagine every hour you were doing something tangible. Like, every hour you're like, I did that. bro, you're gonna move mountains. Because you could hire a new member of staff within a fucking hour. If you really, again, if your life depended on it, you'd sort it out.
We used to say back in the day, a gun to the head.
Yeah. Didn't you say that to me yesterday, Fight Club thing?
Yeah. Gun to the head. But we internalized it like,
right now,
you had to talk to the girl. Gun to the head.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Boom.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good one as well, for sure.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to use, they're all the same. It's all this, gun to the head. Your family's gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. Because like what I do as well, another powerful thing I do is like I count myself down from 7 seconds. If I'm stuck on a decision, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. By the time I get to 1, I have to have made the decision. Otherwise, I can't. Hypothetically, I kill myself or what the fuck? I just make something up. And if I'm in a restaurant, let's say I'm deciding between chicken or steak.
Yeah.
Even something so simple. I'm not gonna sit there like for 1 minute like a retard.
Yeah.
Like a bitch.
I remember Zarak, the same thing.
Really?
He did the menu thing. You ever heard of that one?
No.
Where he's like,
I might have because I know him, but
he would like open the menu and then he had like 2 seconds to decide. That boom done.
I don't know that.
And he would test other people to see how long it would, if they could do it or not.
Right.
And it was like a good a litmus test of like how long their mind would work at a decision. It was super interesting. And I like any of those things you can incorporate that into your life. 100%.
100%.
Cold plunges, talking to a girl,
100%.
DMs, incorporating the gardener, boom.
Because what I say about decisions are there are two kind of decisions. There are decisions that are hard to make and there are decisions that are easy to make. So if I'm going to a restaurant and I hate asparagus, let's say, I don't, but let's say I hate asparagus and I love chicken. What am I going to choose? Well, that's a very easy decision, right? I'll choose the chicken. Cool. Everyone understands that. So that takes 2 seconds to decide. 1 second, because it's easy, right? Then some smart ass watching this will be like, yeah, what about if it's a hard decision? But why is it a hard decision? Explain to me why a decision's hard. Just so people can't say I'm answering this in a certain way.
Let's say you had 2 decisions and both were good.
Okay.
One was less good than the other, but had other things that made it easier on your life. Like, didn't take as much time or anything like that. So
okay. Sure. Yeah. Or both decisions are quite bad, but you're forced to make one of the tough decisions. Like, let's say you're playing a chess game, you're kind of in a fuck position, but both are bad, but you have to make a move because they're the only 2 moves. Sure, I agree. And that would be my exact definition. But what I'll say in that case, if you have 2 decisions that are hard, well, both of them are pretty good, right? Or both of them are pretty bad. No matter, let's just say the good example first. So one's 53% good, one's 47% good, right? It's not 80-20, otherwise it'd be easy decision. So it's 52-48, 51-49.
They're both fantastic. Yeah.
Cool. Well, both are going to be pretty fucking good. So decide in 7 seconds. 7, 6. Oh no, I chose the 48% instead of the 52. But it doesn't matter because I decided within 7 seconds. It only was going to, because it's better to choose the 48%, the worst one, within 7 seconds than the right one after 4 months. People are like, oh, I don't know if I should do this for my business or that for my business. It doesn't really matter because this one's 48% is good. 48% quickly is way better than 52 slowly. Trust me. It's because if you chose it quickly, within 2 weeks, you'd learn, you know what? Let me just try the 52. Well, let me try the other option, option A. Oh, it's actually quite a lot better. Cool. For 2 weeks, you had made the wrong decision. That's fine because you made a decision and in those 2 weeks, you were making a bunch of money.
Yeah, quickly.
For my website, should I have, for my business, should I have a call funnel or should I close payments over text? I don't know which one's better because there's advantages here, advantages here. I don't know. All right, let's just choose the text funnel, text business. Cool. We close over text. After a week and a half, let's say a lot of people, we're losing the leads. But maybe we think we could have closed over call. Okay, let's implement a call funnel. Oh yeah, I think that's better. We're making more sales per day now. You go to the call funnel. Ta-da. But then what most people do is, I don't know which one to choose, so I can't start my business. Make it real. Just choose one. So every decision I try to make within 7 seconds.
Yeah.
If I'm like, should I do the podcast with Sam? I don't sit there like, oh no, should I fucking message him? And then by the time I've messaged him, by the time it takes him to reply, okay, you did it in 2 seconds. But in those 2 seconds, then I'm allowed to think, is it a good move to do another podcast?
Yeah. But
it was a good...
Yeah, 2 seconds right there. Boom, boom.
I say this as well. Like, think when you have something called dead time. So if you're on the Uber, if you're in the shower, if you're eating your food, if you're on the toilet, if you're brushing your teeth, if you're waiting for food in a restaurant, that's like dead time, which you can use to think about something that's on your mind. Every other minute or hour, you should be consciously doing something to better your life. Why do you need to think? What's there to think about? You already know what you want to do in life. Like everyone knows what they need to do to improve their position or their situation. You don't have to write on your phone or your notes page, I want to make more money. I want more friends. Like, you're lonely when you go to sleep and you haven't got enough money to achieve your goals and live your life.
That's real. That's the thing that's real. Yeah.
So
100%.
why do you need to write it down?
Last message to leave these people to be.
Do more, think less. Don't analyze shit. Trust me, you learn things and you become smart by action. Everything else is pure cope. It's pure lies. People tell you to ponder on your decisions. People tell you make the right decision. Warren Buffett said it. Billionaire, he's worth 200 billion in cash. He said, a good move today is better than a perfect move tomorrow. You don't have to try and make the perfect investments. That's his whole investment strategy. As long as it's pretty good and we're not going to get, as long as it's not really bad, we're fine. That was literally his investment strategy forever. Because it's true. As long as we don't lose our entire net worth and it's just a pretty good investment, we're going to keep getting richer. And then before you know it, this perfect investment will just naturally pop up when we weren't even looking at it. It's like in boxing. You don't just look for a perfect overhand right or a perfect knockout shot. Just keep throwing jabs, keep throwing jabs, keep throwing jabs to the body, to the head, and then things open up for you. Same thing with life, same thing with investment, same thing with business.
Perfect. Thank you.
You too, bro.
Appreciate it.
That's 1G. 100%, bro.